Hey, this is David Miller with the Miller Group of Keller Williams Realty. I'm here to help you get real estate smart. All right, the new real estate stats just came out and they are juicy. So hold tight and I'll go through it with you. All right, I'm going to confess, these are not the local stats for Orlando. They're for Central Florida. For some reason, the Orlando Realtor Association has not put them out yet. They are religiously putting them out on the 15th of the month, but it's way past the 15th and it's still not out. However, I do have the stats for Central Florida. So I'm going to use those stats to interpret the data and let you know what I feel is happening in today's market and how that will affect you. So let's talk about inventory. I always like to start with inventory because that's the number of homes that are currently active on the market. Now, if we compare it to last month, inventory for all of Central Florida, that's Tampa, Orlando, went up about 3%, okay? That's typical seasonality as we get into spring and summer. That inventory continues to go up, but if we compare it to the same time last year, it's gone up 29%. So what's causing the inventory to go up? Is it because there's a lack of demand or is it because there's more listings hitting the market? Well, let's look at the demand side of it. And I like to use the number of sold properties that are currently out there. If we look at the supply side of the equation, if we look at the inventory, these are the active homes that are on the market, that went up about 9% versus last month. But if you compare it to the same time last year, it went up 10%. So there's a lot more people that are putting their houses on the market this year than last year. Remember last year, we had the lock-in effect where people that had the low 2 to 3, maybe 4% interest rates were just holding tight because they didn't want to lose it. Well, what's happening right now is that they waited so long, they're like, we got to do something right now because they feel that the market is starting to change, which it's definitely starting to do. Now, if we look at the demand side of the equation, listings sold versus the same time last month is up 30%. That's quite a bit. Some of that has to do with the seasonality, but not all of it. So that shows that there's good demand there. Compared to a year ago, is this down about 2%? So I would say, obviously with the high interest rates compared to before, relatively speaking, they're still pretty good. That is affecting demand, but it's not taking out demand. What's happening is that more people are putting their houses on the market. So how is this affecting the houses that are on the market? Well, if you're a seller, it's going to take you longer to sell your house. If you remember last month, the average in Orlando was about 76 days. If those stats ever come out, I'm going to expect that to go up because it is taking longer to sell your house in today's market. And if you are thinking about selling your house, you need to do two things very well. You need to make sure you price it right. Okay, that doesn't mean that you give your house away, but you got to show value to the market. That's what buyers are looking for. And number two, it's got to be in top showing condition and look so much better than the other houses that are on the market in your neighborhood. Now, if you're a buyer, it's a great time to buy a house because there's so many more houses to look at. If you go back to COVID, there was nothing to look at. I mean, the term we used back then was buyer's fatigue because you would look, you would finally find something, and then you're up against 15 to 20 different offers, and then you would have to do that again and again and again. Well, remember those days because today you don't need to do that. There's so many more homes on the market that you can take a look at, and you have leverage to negotiate where you didn't have before. Those interest rate buy downs that I did a previous video blog on, you can even ask the sellers to provide a seller concession to cover that for you. So those high interest rates shouldn't scare you anymore because you can use the leverage that you have as a buyer now to allow the seller to provide that concession to pay for it for you. So if there's anything we can do to help you out, give me a text, 407-323-4210. We can definitely help you with the buying or selling of your house. The unique advantage that we provide is that we've been doing this since 2006. So during the Great Recession, where the market was just tumbling around us, we were able to sell homes through there. A lot of the realtors that are doing business now only know how it was during the COVID days where you didn't really have to do anything as a realtor. So give me a text, 407-323-4210, and I hope that you are now real estate smart.